Yo, what's up, everybody? This is Versus, and we're reporting live from Mangoes in South Beach for another episode of Party Starter Radio Live. I'm super excited today because I'm joined by the legend, Mark Knight. What's up, Mark? How is everything?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great. Can't complain. In Miami, got the beautiful vibes, the good music. What do you have planned for this week ahead right now?
Well, of course, the big one for us is the Toolroom pool party at the National on Sunday. It kind of kick-starts our world tour. Toolroom's 20 years this year. We're doing a big campaign called Where Music Matters. An opportunity, we're using our kind of anniversary as an opportunity to put the spotlight back on what we really feel is what it's all about, and that's the music. You know, I think the scene is kind of, in some ways, got a little bit lost, and we want to use this anniversary as an opportunity to put the influence back on music, and it all kicks off with this show on Sunday. So all roads lead to the National.
For sure. I mean, I have to say that has to probably be one of the most impressive things with Toolroom, where the music really just speaks for itself and it holds a really long shelf life, which is very rare, I would say, in today's day and age. We were playing Toolroom records from like 5-6 years ago, the last couple of days at parties, and they're still getting reactions like they're unreleased records.
Amazing.
Which is awesome. And I think you guys really do a good job too of keeping the content and keeping the branding really about the music and not having to try and, I don't know, get clicks or do something that's too out of what you guys are envisioning. And I feel like even with your events, that's a huge part of the Toolroom events. I've been to Amsterdam, Los Angeles, a couple in Miami before. What's it like behind the process of creating that environment and the vibe for the Toolroom events?
Well, I mean, I think the biggest compliment you can pay us as a label is that your records stand the test of time. You know, we put a lot of time and effort into every release. You know, making sure it is about quality. We A&R with our ears and not our eyes. You know, we've always been about that. We have a very hands-on approach with A&R. I spend a lot of time with people's stems, making sure we can eat the most out of every release. Every record we release is very considered in terms of its A&R approach, so that it does have longevity. You know, we've never been about jumping on bandwagons and trends. We've always been consistent to our sound. We have a sound. You know, people write a record and say, I made a record, it sounds very Toolroom, and that is 20 years of that continuity in terms of quality and what we stand for musically, just doing that over and over and over again. So it's nailed on as a sound, and again, that then translates into what we do as a party. We try to bring all of that into our live touch point in the events, and making sure it is about the music and it's not about all the add-ons, CO2s. And like, yes, it's a lot of fun, but what we try to program and we put all the energy into is making sure the music is right, the flow of the party is right, the DJs are right. You know, they're there because they can really rock a crowd, not because they got big numbers. It's for sure. You know, it's all about getting the music right. That's all we have.
Yeah, we actually, me and my buddy, the other producer for the podcast, 2019, we went to your Miami party that was in kind of like the warehouse.
Yeah.
DJ booth, no really lights in production, super dark room, house beats all night. And we literally went there like, we're just going to dance. Like, we got to go to Toolroom, enjoy the vibe, listen to some good music. And, you know, I think it's really special now where a lot of things are about Instagram or, like you said, the big productions and the shows. And it really, I don't know, if like in some of my experience, sometimes like even yesterday, there was a pool party someone had mentioned where it's like, crowd was dead and you had these massive artists, like what is it? And it's like, well, everyone's there just for the phones or just for the Instagram story. So it's a little bit tough. Kind of breaching off that, how have you seen not only the industry but also the music and sounds now develop over the 20 years, and what's something that you try and look for with records to kind of keep consistent for Toolroom in that time frame as well?
I mean, we have a sound. We do things from our heart. You know, we know what we stand for. We know what lane we sit in, and we're comfortable with that. Music, it goes in circles, and you have to have the confidence to go, look, within that period of 20 years, there'll be moments when you're not at the front of the queue and you'll be not as in vogue, but I think it's sacrosanct to stay true to what you stand for, because when that comes around again, because then you're going to be right at the front of the queue, you're going to be hot again. And we've always just done that. You know, I've only ever released records or backed records that I love, that I will play. You know, it's a DJ's label for DJs, by DJs, always has been, always will be. You know, if records go on to become bigger things, you know, and the crossover and gain commercial success based on the fact they have a very organic swell from being played in clubs, grow and grow and grow, then fantastic. But we never skip that process. We're not looking to kind of jump to a commercial sense with records. It's like, let them prove themselves. If they go on to do big things, great. But you really can't forecast or legislate to find hits. So we don't try to. We just try to put out great club records. And when we started the label, we had this kind of strapline that we released get out of jail card records. So like, if you were playing a gig and it perhaps wasn't going so well and you needed a record to turn the party around, then a Toolroom record would be that. And we tried to stay true to that, making sure that it has the right energy, has the right amount of moments, the right amount of sonics, production quality. All those boxes need to be ticked for it to be a Toolroom record, and that's what it ties all of our sound together. There is, of course, parameters in which we exist in terms of musically, but that's the thing that ties everything together, those qualities.
For sure. And I think you could definitely hear it through the sounds and through the different records. Even a record like I feel like that maybe was like, okay, this is a little commercial, but you almost create your own commercial lane because it's a fresh style. Especially at that time, it was like that record almost set up what was commercial house at that moment that could be successful.
Absolutely. I mean, we never set out for that to be a commercial record. It was super hooky, but it garnered a lot of respect and plays in clubs. So it didn't miss that. It didn't miss that moment, that component of actually existing within the context of clubs. We have this saying, you can't kid the kidders. You can't kid people into telling people your records are hits. You just can't.
Exactly.
So it has to grow through that process. And if they go on to be commercial, then great. But as you say, that really then set the tone, the kind of piano house for a minute, that and Feel My Needs.
Yeah, exactly.
Both records we never planned to have a hit with those. They just, and that's the beauty. They're the records that are the evergreens that last forever, because not only do you have memories of them in clubs, but on radio in all sorts of contexts. So that they are the records that we try and find, but we try to find effortlessly and not trying to find a hit per se.
Yeah, and I think even with the Toolroom compilations, all the single releases, all the tracks records, you can hear that, where it's your taste, probably a little bit of the A&R and the team's taste as well, and you're not really just trying to do something, you're not following trends, you're consistently doing
we're setting our own trend, we're setting our own lane. We always have done. We've always carved our own niche, our own sound. We don't want to ride off the back of anything, ride off a moment. We are what we are, we're proud of what we do, and we stay in our lane, and we try to do it the best of what we can.
Yo, what's up, party starters? Make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel, and if you haven't already, head over to Love It Apparel, who provided me with all the fresh merchandise you guys are seeing in season 3, and they've also got the exclusive Party Starter Radio Live merch. Back to the video. Is there anything too you would say for artists that are submitting demos or trying to get signed to Toolroom, something to kind of keep an eye out for, or something to keep in mind when producing?
I think just look at what we do. I think that's important. Whether you're signing a record to us or another label, make sure you know that your record fits within the context of what they do. Don't just spray shot records out there. Have some consideration in terms of really study and really feel that record label. Feel that be playing lots of Toolroom records. Feel that you really want to be part of it.
Exactly.
Because we can hear that. We can hear that you get the nuances of what we're about as a sound. In terms of the energy and the moments and the hooks. We can feel that if it makes sense, if it's a Toolroom record. So.
Sure.
Really love what we do, and if you love what we do and you really put your heart and soul into it and you make your best record you've ever made, then you too could be part of Toolroom.
Yeah. I think that's great advice, and I think even for any producers, for any labels, it's a really good thing to keep in mind, where it's like, don't try and follow trends. Don't try and just fit to a label. Go for what you truly feel and what you love.
I think the most important thing is be your own audience. Make a record and listen back to it objectively as if you were the audience. Go, would I dance to that? Does this come from the heart? Make records from the heart. Don't make records to fit in or to be part of a scene. Make records from the heart, because eventually that passion and that purity in what you'll do, your approach, that will have its moment.
For sure.
Just be true to yourself and your day will come. Don't chase trends, set them.
No, I think that's some of the best advice you can definitely give, and I think even for yourself, it's something that you speak true to. I was going to say too, I've dealt with Cruci, Estelle for the interviews as well. I've been back and forth with your manager. I know Danny from Toolroom as well for a couple years. everybody up and down is phenomenal. It feels like a family. The artists all speak so highly of you. Every single person, that not only do you guys give them the platform, but you really try and develop them. You try and develop the records, content, photo shoots. You put them on shows. So it's like, for me, it's extremely, not shocking, but it's like, I've had interactions with bigger labels, and it's like a dream come true when you sign it, but the interaction or the process isn't always what you expect. And then to hear that from you and to see the music, it's like, it's special. And you can see that you guys are having fun. You care about every artist. You really want to build that family environment as well for artists. Is there anything, I mean, besides just being a good person and loving the music, that goes behind that, or kind of how you created that environment?
I think there's a big difference between being a record label and a record company.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
Look, we can sit here, we can start a record label now. We can call it Desktop Records.
Yeah.
And we're off.
Yeah.
Can you be a record company? A record company has strategy, it has people, it has a team, it has a direction, it has a mantra, and that's what we have. You know, A&R is a big component of what we do, and we don't just sign records and upload them.
Yeah.
We're about growing artists, growing a team, because, you know, on my own I can be good, but surrounded by a great team, I can be unstoppable.
Exactly.
You know, and it's my job as captain of that team is to build all the right players in that team. I use a lot of football analogies. I'm a big football fan.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not looking for 11 centre forwards. I'm not looking for 11 left backs. I need players and artists to complement everything we do as a sound. So my job is to find people that work off of each other, but collectively embody what we're trying to say as a label and as a brand. And I get a huge buzz. I always have done throughout my 20 years running tour of finding new talent like Cruci, like yourself. You know, not always the finished article, but there's an energy and there's something in there you can spot. Again, much like being a scout or a manager, you can say, okay, this player's got something. With the right honing, with the right time and the right attention, we can really take that raw talent and build that into something that could have, you know, a real bona fide career. So I get a great buzz from that, and I don't think that will ever wane. I love that. It's a big part of my job, and we have some great artists on the label now that are really doing that. You know, that were a year ago in their bedrooms, now
touring the world.
Literally,
man.
Yeah.
I can't give you enough credit and, you know, tip of the cap for it, because it's really special, you know. And I think not only to just the label and everything too, but for the artists, and, you know, in the long run. I have also an artist development platform I started. I know you also have the Toolroom Academy. But some of the advice I had gotten recently in a consultation was, you might have the next Martin Garrix. You might have the next so-and-so. So you don't know what you can create by just being genuine and trying to create that platform and helping somebody else out.
Absolutely.
And, you know, like for somebody like you that you've been successful for 20, 25 plus years, it's not that you have to do it. Like you said, you could be good on your own too. So it's just so awesome to see and so refreshing. A lot of the times in the interviews, especially with upcoming artists, the big thing is, oh, well, it was great, but maybe not what you expected, this and that. Every time they talk to them, it's nothing but the highest remarks for it. So,
well, listen, we're a great team. And that's always about that. You know, I'm a firm believer of us being a team. Touring family is not just some strapline we just come up with. We really embody that as an ideal. I mean, the business was started with my brother and my dad, so fundamentally it is a family. And we extend that right across what we do. And I like working with friends, and, you know, and they're soon regarded as family. And the love extends and spreads, and then, you know, good times happen.
For sure. And I mean, going off of that too, I wanted to touch on, as busy as you are, just as Mark Knight, just as the Toolroom owner, touring around the world, you know, I'm sure you're completely exhausted. I see you're constantly in the gym. You know, you just did over a mile walk over here, which in this heat, I don't know how you did it. Came over walking.
I've got to get the steps in, man. I'm not getting any younger.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then how do you find that balance too? You know, I see you're always spending time with your son, which is so awesome too. You share, I'm going to say it right, the love for football together, which us Americans, we call soccer.
Yeah.
You got the tradition of going to games, which for me, it was something, I lost my dad a couple years ago.
Oh, sorry to hear that, man.
I appreciate it. And growing up, we would go to New York Jet games. Every year we go to at least 1 or 2 games. And it's something that I'll pass on to my kids and that I'll hold close to me. So it's like, I see you doing that. I see the excitement. I see when he's playing games, man. It's awesome.
That's my life, really. You know, that's 100% priority is my son.
Yeah.
You know, everything else is secondary to that.
Yeah.
It is a balancing act, as any professional will know. You're balancing a career and a family, but it's a challenge that I absolutely love, and it's exhausting because, you know, even like, for example, last weekend I was in Prague on Friday night. I do the gig in Prague on Friday, get the first flight home, go to football with him on Saturday, go straight back to the airport, play in Amsterdam, finish that gig, come straight back, get the 7 a.m. flight, take him to football on Sunday.
That's awesome.
And it's not a chore. I do it because I love it. And, you know, the most important commodity you learn as you get older in life is time. You know? And that's all we have is time.
For sure.
So I'll bust my balls to do anything to be with him, because I miss him being here now. I was just FaceTiming him on the way down. So, But I live for him, and he's an incredible footballer. He's doing really well. We actually started our own football club. We have the Toolroom Academy as a music business. Now we started the football club. We're trying to replicate the same thing in sport. We have the Toolroom Football Academy.
Oh, sick.
So we built that, and that's a project we're working on at the moment, and they're doing phenomenally well. They're top of the league. We've got some incredible kids playing for us, and it's another passion that I have and enjoy, and he's at the very front of all of that.
Yeah, well, it's so awesome, man. And like I said, I can only imagine how busy you are constantly. To see you making the time and to make that a priority, it's so awesome to see.
Got to be a priority. Family first, and the rest comes afterwards.
Of course. You know, I mean, just going off of that too, anything else now? Like you said, we have the Toolroom 20-year anniversary this year. Anything else you're excited for, or that's coming up for you in the next couple months?
Well, I guess this year is really focused on that, you know, using, as you said earlier, the anniversary is an opportunity to really put across this campaign, Music Matters. So launching a podcast around that, talking to lots of different people across the industry, a big cross-section of people, from some of the old school to brand new up-and-coming talent and everything in between. Talking about their opinion within music. Some incredible, interesting activations. Can't say too much about that at the moment. A world tour. We're going to shoot a documentary. We did a coffee table, but we did loads of stuff.
Let's go.
We're always busy, you know. We're always on to the next project. But this year very much orientates around that milestone.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to see everything that rolls out. Hopefully, we're going to try and come out on Sunday too.
Please
Party
do.
at Toolroom for sure.
Beers on me.
Oh, thank you so much, man. We'll definitely have to enjoy one. But I mean, what's the best place? Normally, I say, what's the best place to follow you on socials?
I guess Instagram. I'm not the best on socials, one has to say. I don't have a lot of time, but hit me up on Instagram. It's at DJ Mark Knight. You
awesome.
Can see what I'm up to.
And then to keep the demos out of your DMs, what's the best place if you're trying to get signed to Toolroom to submit?
The best way is to go to our website, Toolroom Academy website. All the info on how to submit a demo is there. So if you just follow the steps. Look, the reality is some days we get 500 demos.
Yeah, you know, I can imagine.
And we won't get to them all. I'll be a liar to sit here and say, we'll listen to them. That's just a lie. We can't. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Make yourself known. We're super down-to-earth people. Shout that little bit louder. Put your head above the parapet. Say something different. We're all just good lads. You know, we all love music. Connect with us. Get your demo heard. But there is a process as well on the website. So do a bit of both, and who knows?
Perfect. Well, I look forward to it. Thank you again for taking the time.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Of course, anytime, and enjoy the rest of your Miami trip.
You too.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys for all tuning in to another episode of Party Starter Radio Live. If there's ever a Toolroom party or a Mark Knight set around you, you guys have to go out because it's a party you can't miss. Huge shout out to June. I know you guys made some extra accommodations here at Mango's today for us to shoot some extra interviews. So thank you guys so much. And thank you guys for hosting us for the first Party Starter Radio Live event yesterday too. If you guys want to stay connected with me, follow me at Versus Music Official on Instagram. You can follow the podcast at Party Starter Radio. Until next time, peace out, everyone. Awesome. Thank you so much, man.
You've done that before.
Yeah.
Lady, hear me tonight.